Hey, everybody, welcome back. I have not done a video in a little while, like usual. Not really doing a lot of videos these days. But I wanted to do a video because I really want to talk about misconception about trading and how everybody, even an experienced trader like me, can fall victim to it. So I want to ask you all a question. What do you think the number one trait, personality trait, or behavioral trait, if you will, that you need to have to be a successful trader? And I want to just pause here for a second, and I want you to really think about it. Okay. Some of you might say patience, right? You might say intelligence. You might say the ability to read markets, the ability to do risk management, and those would all be true, right? But I want to get to kind of the root cause of everything. If you know anything about me, I am a root cause kind of guy. I really do not pay too much attention to symptoms. Something like patience is a symptom. Something like FOMO, that's a symptom, right? Fear of missing out. Something like taking profits too early is a symptom, right? All those things that traders do, those are symptoms. But if you really want to get to the cause of what trading is, what causes you to trade well, what causes you to trade badly, poorly, you have to really get to the root cause. And when I ask you the question, or let me ask you this question, have you ever heard the saying, the strong survive? So to answer the question, what's the number one trait that you have to be a successful trader? Have you heard the phrase, the strong will survive, or the strongest survive? Right? Well, if that was true, what happened to these guys? Right? If the strongest always survived, then we'd still have a ton of dinosaurs on the earth. But the reality is, it's not the strong that survive, it's the most adaptable, right? Most adaptable, the most adaptable species. And it is arguably humans that are the most adaptable. Humans and cockroaches, right? So when we get back to what does it take to be a successful trader, you have to be one of the most adaptable species in order to do that. Darwin said it. It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It's the most adaptable to change, right? And nothing could be more true with trading. And I want to take a look here at some trades that I posted today in my room. And you can see here I made about $740 on these trades today. And the trades that I took a trade here on the US dollar CAD long right off of that level, 34.70, and I closed the trade right about there. And then I took a trade short on the Aussie dollar off of this level right here, and I closed the trade right here, like a really quick scalp, right? Let's see, here's the two Aussie dollar trades right there, and that made $42, right? And the CAD trades made $100 on those, right? Sorry, $160, so not terrible. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, so why am I talking about these trades? Because I cut these trades way too soon. Now, this is where we talk about adaptability. So let's boil down adaptability to its most common cause and factor. Again, I'm all about getting to the root cause of everything. So what I preach with my students over and over and over again is habit, right? So it's not really being an adaptable trader. It's the ability to build the habits of adaptability. Does that make sense? And that's one of the things that you have to really be careful of. If you haven't read the book, and I highly, highly recommend this book, it's called The Power of Habit. There's a couple of other books out there. Power of Habit. All right, if you have not read this book, it was a life game changer for me as far as my trading career was concerned, because it helped me to understand that we are all just creatures and victims of habit. And that's one of the things that I preach with my students, and why I spend up to 6 months to a year with some of my clients, just getting rid of their old habits and developing new habits. But why am I talking about this right now? Because even when you have the right habits, you have to be very careful the habits that you cultivate in life. Because as many of you know, I am primarily a short seller. And if you take a look at what the stock market has been doing for the last, since May, the stock market has been going straight up with a couple of down days. And finally today we were getting a big sell-off. Now what I was doing during most of this time is scalping. So even though I'm a short sale specialist, I want to stress the fact that my clients are not. Okay, my clients take long trades all the time, and I teach people how to take both long and short trades. It's just that I happen to be better at being a short seller. It just suits my personality better. I don't like taking the stairs up. I like taking the elevator down. And you can see stairs up, elevator down, stairs up, elevator down. And that's why I'm a short seller, because it just suits my personality. But the mistake that I was making for the last, since March, was I was just scalping the equities markets. And then I just got tired of scalping, so I had to correct my behavior. And so that led to today, right? Sorry for the long-winded explanation. So why did I cut my Aussie dollar trade short? Why did I just scalp it? I scalped it because I got used to scalping it, and I developed the wrong habit. In the same way, I cut my Canadian dollar long trade. I did do a little bit better on the pound. I was shorting the pound this morning, and I got short the pound a few times. I got short the pound off at this level, made some money here. But I also cut the trade right there. So I did a little bit better on shorting the pound this morning, and that's why I have, a profitable day, mostly because of my pound trades, right? So there you have it. So what's the takeaway? Let me summarize all of this right now. With my students, I spend 3 months with them, and every day, they show me their trades. And I'll give you an example here. Earlier today, this is my group coaching class. Earlier today, one of my students posted this in here. He sent me his work, and I said, Dale, I'm confused. Why are the stocks on top of the page? And I said, please follow this format so I can be sure you're doing it right. Right. Well, I do this all the time with my students. Here's an example. Juan, he took a trade yesterday. He got long on this stock. I replied perfect. And that's what I do. My job is to basically look at what my students are doing and, correct it. And really, are they building the right habits? So here, Sin said to me that he did this trade here, and I said that was not a valid trade, blah, 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 blah. And then I fix it, right? So you can read a book, you can take an online video course, but the power of having somebody there to review and correct your trades on a regular basis it's immeasurable, right? It's just immeasurable. I cannot stress how I wish that when I was, when I was a very young trader, floor trader, yes, of course I had a mentor that was teaching me and correcting me. But when I left the floor and I was working for home, I didn't have anybody there correcting all of my mistakes, right? And building those good habits, okay? So if you ask yourself why you're losing money, is it because you're not doing this, you're not doing that? Boil it down deeper and deeper and go to the real root cause. The real root cause is that you're not developing the habit of being adaptable, okay? You're not developing the habit of being adaptable. Everything in the market is about context. So the context of today was for me to hold my runners for longer. But because I have been so used to, look at this S&P just getting smashed. I've been so used to scalping short the equities markets over the last 3 months, I developed the wrong habit, and I developed the habit of scalping, and I lost the habit of being adaptable to market context. Okay? And that's what you really want to do. And I cannot stress this enough. That's why everybody that tries to sell you a black box system, do A, B, C, D, fails. Okay? It always fails. Because unless your system has the ability, your process has the ability of adaptability in it, then you are going to get smoked. And even when you have really good days, when you make $740 on a day like today, that should be probably closer to 1,800, right? But lack of adaptability to context because of the habit that I built scalping short this market is why that's there and not at that amount. Okay? Little things make all the difference. Let me say that. I want to give you one more gem of information. The smallest things like this can make the difference between a $25,000 profit year and a $250,000 profit year, right? I've said this before. What's the difference between, LeBron James and just a regular, making $30 million a year versus a guy that's making $3 million a year in the NBA? Both are professionals. But LeBron James does the little things a lot better than the guy making $3 million a year. Little things make a difference, and building the right habits and the habit of adaptability to context is what's going to make you a great trader versus just a good trader. Okay? Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you all. Love you all. Bye for now.